Hello everyone, my name is Erin Lemley and this is my presentation on Fresh Direct and how it used business intelligence tools to revamp its business using specifically SAP and BI capabilities. And today we're going to go over the history of Fresh Direct, how the company works and how it uses these IT tools, as well as how it helped the company's present situation, as well as some lessons learned during their transition. Alrighty, so now I'd just like to go over a brief history of Fresh Direct and how it came about. So in 1999, Jason Ackerman actually founded Fresh Direct, and the main mission of the company was to focus on a high density metropolitan area and offer farm fresh food and deliver it on time at prices about 15% less than local grocery stores. So then in 2000, the first headquarters and processing plant were built. So the plant itself was a refrigerated packing plant in Long Island City, and it was created as the most modern automated perishable food processing plant in the US. Specifically, it had designed fruit and vegetable rooms that kept their products fresher and kept it from bruising, as well as the plant had butchered whole carcasses from meat. They made their own sausage, they cut up their own fish, they grinded coffee, baked bread and pastries, and the cooks had prepared entire meals. So, with all of this, they finally made their first delivery in 2002, but unfortunately, despite all of the attention that was given to the production detail at the plant, from 2000 until 2008, the company burned through all of their investor cash. And while they were trying to execute this business plan, they seemed to miss a lot of items. They were not remediating service issues. There was no way for operations people to find out what happened to an order or to resend an order. Therefore, they were quickly losing customers because they were experiencing poor service, and thus it was affecting their revenue. So actually during this time, about 85% of the customers ordered 3 times or less, then stopped using the company all over. So then in 2008, Mr. Braddock took over as the new CEO, and he fired the existing CEO as well as many senior managers. He ended company's policies of adding new customers at any cost, stopped offering discounts to first-time buyers, and then actually for 2 years he stopped offering promotions to buyers at all. His focus was more on, the mission wasn't to acquire new customers, it was to make the existing customers loyal. So with that, he also wanted to improve the website. He upgraded the website. He implemented the usage of SAP software, which essentially the objective of this was to fulfill customer orders and control production to an optimal level, as well as plan for long-term enhancements. And I'll talk about that later on in the presentation. So with these changes, the company now is around $700 million in annual revenue and is growing rapidly, and they're expanding. Okay, so now let's go over how it works. So basically, Fresh Direct is an online ordering system similar to Amazon or any other online delivery website that you would use. So it's similar to Walmart's new implementation on how you can order groceries and then pick up, but in this case, they're delivering to you. So after you made your order through selections of apples, eggs, meat, whatever it might be, there will be a continuous feedback of real-time movement of your order. So again, this is very similar to if you were to order, clothes online or a new cell phone online or something. You can follow the tracks of when it's shipped, where it's shipped, where the truck is, and that was to get more of a real-time feedback that would follow every step and misstep of the business day, so that minor issues could be resolved and communicated to the customer. So implementing this new SAP software then helped track the inventory. It also could compile financial reports surrounding the inventory's movement. tag the products to fulfill the customer orders and control production by then understanding what to do every day and what temperature to keep items at. So it was more of an automated process. So then, as this, connected inventory billing and truck delivery, this was able to then alert managers prior to these emerging problems. So then, as real-time data reports were implemented, they could shift their resources to the areas of customer demand, and then also anticipating products that might sell up, as well as, shifting where the popularity of delivery zones were as well. So then, they also implemented this new application, I guess you would call, of Net Tracker, which can analyze order patterns using a marketing tool. So this marketing tool analyzed order patterns and then reminded customers of their favorite products and suggested new products they might enjoy, which I'm sure all of us have seen through Netflix or Amazon, where if we watch a certain show, it'll then, suggest another show. So similar in your ordering process, you could say, I ordered this batch of apples, I might enjoy this batch of apples, or this brand after using so many orders after that brand itself. So then the final piece in the formula for the profit in the supply chain then included dealing with the manufacturers and growers, which is where they cut those costs of the middle level distributors and chains so that they could cut the price. Here's a video you can watch in your free time that kind of goes over a more high-level version of how SAP is used at FreshDirect. It kind of goes over what the screens that managers are viewing look like, very similar to how we can run queries in my company, and we can kind of see, where we're at financially and how we can reach our goals and what we can do for planning and production. And it also maps out how managers can see dashboards of what the issues are and anticipate and then react. So that's kind of a visual representation if you'd like to watch that. So now I wanted to describe some more of the actual operations movement in FreshDirect plants. So the first step after ordering then would be for the packing plants, which I'm sure they're ahead of schedule obviously, but for descriptive purposes, the packing plants would then work on fulfilling the order. So I got this picture off of a Forbes article. And as you can see here, they're working on cutting the meat, placing it into packaging. So also in this picture, you can see how clean the facility is. Cleanliness is an obsession for FreshDirect, and their factories are built to exceed USDA standards. So this also eliminates the need of, where did this come from? How prone are we to illness from the movement of our products? And we can control the temperature to eliminate those extra bacteria. So as you can see in the below two images, we're going to kind of go over how the packing warehouses work. So employees will work in different warehouse zones to fulfill the orders for the customer. So as you can see in the zoomed in picture on the right as well, there are barcodes with tray numbers, row numbers to help with that increased understanding of where the product is at all times. So one of the hardest problems in home delivery is getting the food to the doorsteps in the same condition that the customer would expect if they went to the store themselves. So with that, delivering the perishable is trickier than just dropping it off paper towels or fruit or meat, as these can bruise, spoil, and break. So the packing portion of the industry is very important. So logistics works together to get the products from the supplier, process the food, then pick and pack and ship the orders before the quality degrades. So as you can see, the customers are picking up, the employees are picking up in different zones. And this is why the facility itself has 15 different temperature zones. To best understand which temperature would go where would depend on if it was chicken or fruit or vegetables or whatever this might be. So then the software then determines the most efficient route for each order and tells the workers which items to pick, which, as I'm sure you can tell, would increase efficiency and decrease cost if workers are being more efficient and there's less complications during the order. So the last piece of the puzzle for internal inventory movement, after packing and after packaging, is the distribution center. Without the efficiency of the distribution center, the prior two efficiencies are totally lost. So as you can see in the below images, this is kind of picturesque of what the center would look like. And individual orders at the Fresh Direct centers are packed in bins that have speed zones on conveyors equipped with thousands and thousands of sensors to again identify exactly where that product is at. It's using these automated carousels and conveyors to bring orders to the food prep workers and the packers. So then finally, as we can see here in this picture, it looks very clean, very efficient. There's barcodes. Fresh Direct's actually shaved the time it takes to fulfill an order by 75% and doubled the number of orders picked per hour as compared with Pace's of old facilities, the original facility in Long Island City. And with that, they're ripping out tons and tons of operating costs of the business as it's faster, it's handled less, and it's kept at the right temperature. So online-only operations with centralized warehouses tend to be more efficient than the logistics ran out of stores because they're using fewer workers and they can position their goods for faster fulfillment. And with that, Fresh Direct believes that its small scale can be advantageous since it doesn't have to be all things for shoppers, such as Walmart or, somewhere else. They're not a national shipping business. They're just focused on local food and being fresh. And it's a lot of technology that is used to support that, which again, I'll talk about later on. Great, so now I just kind of wanted to go over a visual of what the website looks like so you can kind of get more an interactive experience. So here's the website, and as you can see, it does not deliver to my zip code as it is over out east. But in the top right corners, you can see they have delivery times on where your zip code is, as well as you can sign in for your orders and their statuses, and you can see your shopping cart. So now as I scroll down, you can tell that they're obviously having those promotions now, unlike in the beginning. It also kind of has a little fun blurb on the side on ways you can, update your soup and chili or some products they have, local products they have. As I scroll down, you can see kind of the products they're kind of gearing towards, the basics, the fruit, the meat, top rated items. As it is fall, they have some seasonalities also going on here. Again, apples, fall. Some liquor, some recipes, so it's a very interactive site. You can see at the bottom also they have gluten-free, kosher, organic, specifically local. If I scroll back to the top, we can see that they have meals. You can also order based on that, some coupons, as well as some fall favorite items. So I'm kind of just going to click on one of them so we can kind of see what it looks like. If I click on fruit, here we can see all of the fruit items, and then if I were to specifically get this, bunch of blueberries, I would select that item, and then it would then take me to the next portion, which would be the ordering section. I can say how much I want, add it to my cart. So let's say I just want one. We'll put it in there, and then it's going to head to my cart, show me my order, and then I can essentially check out, just like I said, like any other service. And since I didn't create an account, obviously it's not going to complete the order, but we can kind of just go through the process to show you the interactivity. So if I were to enter my email, and move on, then we could go through the ordering. So now that I've given you kind of a basic overview of what Fresh Direct is, how they've used SAP and BI to improve their business, we can kind of go over, how this helped the business overall. Does this matter? Why should we implement this new costly SAP? Well, here's why. So not only did it increase their customer loyalty, it also reduced the churn rate, which is the number of customers who leave the service. So currently, 65% of the total customer base are repeat loyal customers who average an order size of over $100, which contribute directly 80% of their revenues. And they have now almost 2,000 employees, 250,000 customers, and deliver more than 6 million orders. So with all of those benefits, they've been able to understand and resolve the bottlenecks in their business itself to control production, and then can shift their resources based upon consumer demand. And with all these successes, they've been able to raise additional equity from investors, and now are planning to expand by building a new plant So now that I've gone over the past of Fresh Direct, I'd like to talk about the present situation of the company. So not only have they reached New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, and DC, they're planning to expand to Boston, as I described earlier, due to additional equity from investors. Now they provide next-day delivery service based upon the changes that they've made in the past, and they will implement those 15 different temperature zones to coordinate the most efficient process. And again, their small scale has remained competitive with, Walmart and Amazon and other companies that are trying to implement these online ordering systems. And they're able to have a consumer-friendly website, similar to Netflix, as I said, by having a buying guide and compelling promotions that we saw earlier in the presentation. And like everything, there's an app for that. So Fresh Direct has a mobile app, making it even simpler for, consumers to order without their computers and be very interactive and quick. So briefly, I would just like to go over some lessons learned that I gained from this case study. As we've mentioned, startups can remain competitive. I know it can be very intimidating in today's business environment, but as we can see, a startup such as Fresh Direct is just an idea that implemented improvements, and they've remained competitive throughout time. With that, we've learned that IT infrastructure is essential to that competitiveness to remain competitive. So implementing SAP, getting those apps, understanding customer preferences and needs is essential to remain profitable. Lastly, we've also learned that returning customers are just as valuable as new customers. You could get a new customer every day, but if they don't come back, essentially you've lost business. So as the CEO has made it an important part of his company, to have those returning customers and to understand their needs. Well, now we've made it to the end of the presentation, and I would like to thank everyone for going through my slides and listening to my information about Fresh Direct and BI tools. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me or respond to my initial pin. Thank you.